What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Access to Combat podcast, episode 67. Today, we're here to break down UFC Vegas 96, Cannonier, Borralho. As always, we're here to, give you some breakdown, give you some previews, some picks, some bets. Whatever we can find on this card, it's all yours. As always, it's your boy Ray Boogie Kahuna, my co-host.
Hugo the boss. Hugo got next. Hugo got that Mets fit. My boy's on a 4-game skip right now. But, for all the Yankee fans that's hating on us, you can skip right off this podcast. Nah. We just played.
Hey.
Please, you already know the routine. And this goes for Yankee fans as well. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. And yes, that goes for Yankee fans as well.
First fight on the card at men's middleweight, we have a Ultimate Fighter finale. At middleweight, we have Ryan Loder going one-on-one with Robert Valentin. Loder 6-1, fighting out of California, 33 years old. Valentin 10-3, fighting out of Switzerland, hailing from Switzerland, 29 years old. This is one of two finales that are supposed to be on this card, but currently we only have access to one of those fights. Just a little peek behind the curtain here. We film this, we record this the week prior, and then release the podcast the Sunday of. Tough. They don't come out till Tuesday.
Yep.
So we're going to be a couple days ahead of the finale. We don't know who the featherweight matchup is, but we do know who the middleweight is. So we'll talk about that one for a little bit. How about you kick us off?
Yeah, this is a great fight. I like both these guys, to be frank. Loder doesn't have as much experience as Valentin, but I will say the odds have not dropped for this fight yet, but I'm assuming Loder will probably be the favorite just because of the wrestling upside that he has. He's a stud. Very good collegiate background. I think he went to the Olympics. Don't quote me on that.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know they mentioned it like early. I think right before his first fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's a couple of Olympians on this tough. This has been one of the most talented tough stuff they've had in a long time.
One of the most international ones too.
Yes, yeah. Probably the most international. Yeah, like it's been a really good tough season in terms of the talent and some of the collegiate and Olympic level wrestling that's on this show. Ryan, stud wrestler, does a lot of good things with the wrestling. Good ground and pound, good submissions, good head and arm chokes. Valentin, a fucking savage from Valhalla, man. And ready to go to Valhalla if necessary.
Victory or Valhalla.
Yeah, that was one of the episode's names for tough.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I mean, he's very intense. He reminds me a lot of Jerry Prohaska. He's just a little more technical than Jerry with his stand-up, even though he does get wild with the stand-up as well. Kind of punches over his feet a little bit. With that said, I do think he has grappling upside here. I'm not sure his grappling's going to be good enough to mitigate what Ryan's going to be able to do on the floor. Ryan, I will say, is the lean here. I want to see what the line is because Valentin is such a fucking savage that if the line's disrespectful enough, I'll make a play at him. He hits very hard. He can defend himself on the floor. His wrestling defense is not horrid. It's not the best, but it's not horrid. He's despite being a little wild, he's actually kind of cerebral in there.
Yeah. For me, I think he's definitely the more he's got more tools, right? I think if you ask me who's the more complete MMA fighter, I'm going to pick Robert.
Yes.
So Loder, I would lean just because of the wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how Rob is going to be able to deal with that much grappling. But, I mean, I think this is a dog or pass overall.
I like those second and third round props, too. Like if someone gets worn down, because Loder, his only issue is his cardio late. But if he is able to preserve his energy and pick his shots, and he's actually decent on the feet because people are so afraid of the takedown. If he's able to reserve his energy, that's the only thing I kind of worry about because I think Valentin's going to walk him down and put pressure on him. With that said, I just feel like Loder's wrestling is very legit. He's very good on the floor. But I do like the second and third round props because I do feel like both of them can fade late just based on their styles. So I like second and third round finish. Loaded to lean, like my brother said, but definitely, possibly a dog or pass spot, depending on the line.
Next fight on the card at women's flyweight, we have the debuting Cong Wang. I think it's Wang Cong. I don't know how they do it in Asia, where the first name is the last name, the last name is the first name. I think it's Wang Cong, but they got it here as Cong Wang. Her nickname's the Joker. She's going one-on-one with Victoria Fury Leonardo. Wang, perfect. 5-0, fighting out of Shanghai, China, 32 years old. Leonardo, 9-5 overall, fighting out of Louisiana, 34 years old. I think this is Wang all day. I think Cong is the better striker. She's got a extensive kickboxing background. She also has a UFC body under her name. I think Wunan Yu, or you, how do you say her name?
Yeah, Jianan Wu.
Yunan Wu. Okay. So I think this is a welcome to the UFC. She showed in her last fight that she's a little more capable on the ground than, you know, the average Muay Thai kickboxer that usually comes into the UFC. I think she gets Leonardo here by submission, even though she's a kickboxer. And the reason why is because Leonardo, I think her only way to win here is to grapple. She grapples in every fight. She'll go for the wrestling in every fight. I don't think Leonardo's that good.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Give me Wang by sub. That might be a hot take. I don't know what the props are. And when they drop, it's probably going to be nice and juicy, but give me Wang by sub. I'm planting my flag. What about you?
Yeah, I got Wang. Hey, I got Cong by however she wants. I think Leonardo's not UFC caliber, unfortunately. I like her too. I think she's a sweet person. She's not very athletic. She's not very strong. She's strong in spurts. Doesn't hit hard. Not explosive. She's gonna be the older fighter here. She's probably, and I think she's the smaller fighter too.
Wang is big for this. I know she's big for. She's like 5'6" or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And Leonardo's 5'4". No, 5'5", and then Wang has got a 2.5-inch reach advantage. And let's also not forget to mention that Cong also beat Valentina Shevchenko in a kickboxing match. My brother actually educated me on this, and to do that, it's you gotta know your striking at least. Shit. You gotta know your shit.
Yeah.
And you know Valentina's a beast, man. You know, so I'm gonna lean with you with the sub because you're right about Leonardo's game, but this is a fight where Cong is a -800. I'm not sure whether the sub is going to be. It might be juicy just because the knockout's probably going to be there. And the last couple of times Leonardo's been stopped is by knockout.
I think
outside of Gato. So
I think the best way to, listen, if inside the distance is decent, that's probably the way to go.
Yeah.
She is a kickboxer. The knockout is probably the most likely way she wins. I just got a weird feeling she beats her by sub here. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I got to read.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at your read, and I get exactly why. So, yeah, Cong by however she wants.
Next fight on the card at women's bantamweight, we have Josiane. How do you say her name?
Josiane.
Josiane?
I think so.
Josiane? Josie Nunes. Jesus, I don't know why I'm tripping up on that first name. Going one-on-one with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Nunes, 10-2 overall, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 30 years old. Cavalcanti. 6-1, fighting out of Portugal, hailing from Portugal, 26 years old. This fight is probably going to be a entertaining fight in terms, especially for a women's fight. These two girls, they want to stand and they want to bang. Pause.
That's great.
They're going to throw hands. You know what Nunes is about. She's built like a snowman, but she throws hammers. She got lead in them pipes. She's going to go walk forward, and she's going to slang him. She's going to slang and bang. I'm going to pick Cavalcanti here. I think she's the more technical striker. I think she's got the better footwork. She's the better counter striker. She should win this fight. Surprisingly, this fight probably does go the distance, but I think it's going to be a back and forth swang and bang. And give me, on paper, the better striker and counter striker in Jacqueline. What about you?
Yeah, as my brother said, Nunes, built like a snowman, slings hands like the dope man. You feel me?
That is bars.
I love Cavalcanti. I think she's the better striker, like as you said. The only thing is that I think this is where you're a little hesitant with it. Defensively, she's a little irresponsible. She gets hit a lot in her fights. And the thing is, this is probably the most explosive puncher she's faced.
100%.
Josiane also, I think, has a little bit of grappling upside here.
She does if she wants to go for it.
Correct.
I think. Yeah.
I think at plus 150, we might be looking at our first live dog of the night. Am I going to play it? I don't know, because I do respect Jacqueline's game. I think she has fantastic footwork, knows how to manage distance, doesn't put herself in too much risk. The problem is she doesn't try to, but she kind of always winds up in firefights. Even against Fim. Fim had her moments against her. And Sarah Finn is not that good, man. No disrespect to that woman, you know? But I just feel like every fight, even pre-UFC, she was getting lumped up. She gets hit by everybody. And a lot of those girls are not big punchers like this girl. Nunes is a very big puncher.
Yeah, I don't necessarily hate the Nunes dog play. I think there's a number that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think the current number is kind of probably fair.
Correct.
But there's a number I'm looking for, and if it gets there, I mean, don't be surprised at the end of the week if I got to play. I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it, because I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think it stays on the feet for the majority of the fight. So
yeah, and you could say Nunes lost to Chelsea Chandler her last fight, but Chelsea Chandler, good chin, big, and probably a 45. We're trying to fight at 35. Plus, I think Chelsea Chandler missed weight for that fight as well, too.
Chelsea Chandler,
as she always does. So my thing is, it's like, you know, Nunes is tiny for the division too, you know, but now she's actually fighting someone that's probably built for featherweight. But is this at bantamweight or featherweight?
This is bantamweight.
Yeah. So the thing is with Jacqueline, she's fought as high as lightweight.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's why I kind of favor her. But I agree with you. If the line gets disrespectful enough, it's definitely a live dog shot. So that's why I'm leaning. Jacqueline is a lean, but Nunes is a possible dog play depending on the line and the value.
Next fight on the card at men's lightweight, we have Slava Claus. Merry Christmas. Viacheslav Borshchev. Damn, I butchered his first name. I try to make that smooth, but anyway, he's going one-on-one with Goku. James Llontop. Only in the UFC where you can get Slava Claus and Goku.
Insulted my man right here on the wall. Come on, man. This bum. He's a bum.
Borshchev.
I'm going there.
7-4-1, fighting out of Russia. Actually representing Russia, but fighting out of Sacramento, California, 32 years old. Llontop is fighting out of Peru, hailing from Peru, 14-3 overall, and he is 25 years old. This fight is another banger. As long as it stays on the feet, I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining back and forth. It's probably Llontop's best shot in winning this fight.
Yeah.
Because I think low key, I mean, it might be a hot take. Maybe it's not.
Borshchev by sub is live.
Oh, I wasn't even going with the Borshchev. I was going to say that I think Llontop might be the more powerful striker of the two guys.
Yeah,
in terms of just like pure power, like that anytime he throws a punch or lands a kick, he thumps.
Correct.
He hits hard. The only issue is that I just don't think Llontop is that good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a striker out of Peru. I mean, this is what they do. They come out here and they want to swing and bang. Slava Claus, I mean, extensive striking background. He is the more technical striker. He's the more experienced striker. Probably he should be the favorite. If he's not the favorite, I haven't looked at the odds, but
he's the better grappler.
And he's got the grappling upside.
He does, in my
opinion. He's been working on his grappling. I'm gonna pick Slava Claus here to win. I don't have a method of victory. I'm gonna probably throw to you while I think about that. I don't hate sub. I don't, because he might just test his grappling against a guy who just can't grapple. I feel pretty good about that one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here with that as well. I'm here for all that. And Borshchev is he's a minus 238 right now. And I'll be honest, it should be a little higher because Llontop lost as like a minus 400 to a guy named Chris Padilla, who I don't think belongs in the UFC.
Chris Padilla wasn't that bad, but Chris Padilla kind of stepped, like that was a last minute fight. That was a short notice opponent for him.
Which is even more alarming.
Yeah, and he should have ran him over.
He should have ran his ass over.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, is Chris like a cage pusher and stuff like that? And he's a decent wrestler / grappler, sure, but he's not an elite level fighter. He's kind of a journeyman, and you got worked by a journeyman on short notice when the bookies had you ready to stomp this motherfucker and finish him.
I mean, this is a fight I kind of want to watch. For some reason, ESPN Plus and UFC, like the Nicolau versus Alex Perez card, for some reason just doesn't work. And I can't find this fight. This is the fight I wanted to watch. I know Perez upsets him. I'm only going vaguely off of memory.
Oh, Padilla, you mean?
Yes. I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's all good,
I got a goldfish memory. So
no, it's all good.
But I know Padilla upsets Llontop here, but I can't remember the exact details. I just know like he wasn't supposed to lose this fight. I know he was a minus like 400 or something.
Yeah.
His number was stupid.
Yeah.
So,
and you remember I told you too, I looked at that fight and I was like, this fight stinks. Because I didn't like Padilla enough to play him, but I knew Padilla could beat him. Like there was a route. And I was like, dude, like Llontop should light him up. But, you know, I'm going to lean. I know we had the snowman in the last fight. I'm definitely leaning Santa Claus and Borshchev in this fight. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that might be a parlay, bro.
Yeah. I like both of them. I like Borshchev in this fight. I think he's the better striker. I think he's got the better footwork. I think he's got the better timing. He's not as reckless. He makes good strikers panicked wrestlers. And it's not because of his speed. It's because of his technical application and his ability to understand space. Llontop thumps, don't get me wrong, but if Borshchev wants to wrestle this fucking guy, he can. And I think he can keep up with him on the floor.
This would be the perfect guy for him to really like stretch his like, you know, wrestling muscles against too, to be honest. Because
especially after getting worked by Chase Hooper like that, man.
Yeah.
That was hard to watch. And Chase just leveled up, in my opinion, for that fight. You know, like Chase, that was his best performance. So
yeah, Chase been doing his thing. Respect to Chase Hooper.
Yeah, but give me Borshchev. I don't know how. If sub is juicy, I'll play it because I do think there's a route here for him to sub his ass. But Borshchev by however he wants, to be frank.
Next fight on the card at middleweight, we have a debuting Jose Medina, Jose Chicho Medina, going one-on-one with Zach Savage Reese. Medina, 11-3 overall, fighting out of Bolivia, hailing from Bolivia, 33 years old. Zachary Reese, Zach Reese, the Savage, 7-1 overall, fighting out of Shiner, Texas, 30 years old. Jose Medina, he's making his debut, but I feel like I think this fight is pretty much a UFC favor for Zach Reese, because the last time we seen Medina, he was on a Contender Series and he lost a unanimous decision up a weight class versus, and I'll get the name right now because I don't remember his name, Magomed Ghaziazulov. That fight was meh. I'll keep it real. So I guess Jose Medina here, not too many fighters from Bolivia. Even off the loss, I know when apparently he got back to Bolivia, he got treated like a hero.
Yeah.
Like he had like a champion's welcome. He also did take that Contender Series fight short notice off the couch. The things I like about this guy, fucking durable, and he'll stand and he'll bang.
He is very durable.
Durable guy. He's not afraid to throw. He's not afraid to mix it up. But the dude is kind of a punching bag. I'm just going to keep it completely honest. He is cutting down to 185 here. That being said, Zachary Reese, I think this is a guy that the UFC kind of wants to push. Striking is solid. I think he's even better on the ground.
Very good on the ground. Just his defense is, ugh.
His defense, it's a little lackluster, I guess, right? There's a lot to be desired. But I think Zach Reese is going to be the side here for me. I think this fight probably doesn't go the distance because I think Zach Reese is going to find a finish. I know I was just bigging up Medina for being a durable guy, but I mean,
I feel like Zach could get to his back.
Zach by sub is probably
the play.
Probably the smooth play here because Medina got a fucking chin on him. So give me Zach Reese. That's where I'm planting my flag. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on the lead. I don't know if I want to bet it because I'm not very high on Zach Reese. I still think there's a lot of development that he needs to his game, especially his defensive responsibilities, like when he's offensively putting out volume as well as even on the floor, holding on to triangles too long and getting slammed on his head by Cody Brundage.
Cody Brundage also touched him up in the beginning of that round too.
Yeah, Cody thumps. For the first round, yeah. Cody's dangerous, man, for anybody. And you saw the Bo Nickel fight too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hang him too much there, but at the same time, I just don't know if Zach Reese is that guy. That's why I'm not sure I want to put my money too close to this fight because he is not the most durable guy, even though he is very big for the weight class. Give me Zach Reese just because I don't think very highly of Bolivia's Jose Medina. And I'll leave with my brother here and go Zach Reese inside the distance.
Next fight on the card at men's featherweight, we have the great Denis Buzukja going one-on-one with El Puma, Danny Silva. Buzukja, 12-4 overall, fighting out of Staten Island, New York, 26 years old. Danny Silva, 9-1 overall, fighting out of Santa Ana, California, 27 years old. Probably another decent fight. I know not too many people are high on Buzukja, or at least as high as I am on Buzukja. I still think he's mid, right? But I don't think he's got the tools. It's all about just kind of molding the guy and putting it together, I think. You know what I'm saying? Also, he's from New York. I'm a little biased. I want to root for these dudes to do good here. I made some money off of him last fight when he fought Connor Matthews.
Easy work.
Easy money. And Connor Matthews, no offense, very hittable. A tad bit overrated. And like I said, I think already Buzukja is a little mid, so. But we got Danny Silva here as his opponent. And Danny Silva, I mean, what can I say? His contender series fight, Angel Pacheco, legendary. Through, I think those guys combined over 500 strikes. My man took his ear off nearly, whooped his ass. And then he had a decent split decision fight with Kulibao. I think Buzukja leans on his wrestling here a bit. It might give him the edge in this fight, but I think Danny Silva is going to win. Only because I think he's probably the more... Is he the more technical striker? He's definitely going to have the volume.
I think so.
I probably trust his chin a little more. I trust his output a bit more.
Yeah, I like his game. I like a lot of his game. I think he's a push for. He has that very push forward style, a lot of volume, very durable. Pacheco hit him with some fucking bombs in that contender series fight, and he walked through it like it was a sunny Sunday afternoon. Buzukja, I agree with you with the wrestling. I think if he does wrestle, but the thing is you have to hope he wrestles, which he does not have the propensity to continue following up unless he's completely outmatched in the feet. You've seen him try to wrestle the guy who looks like Frankenstein's monster. What's his name? Charles Woodson. Yeah. Down, and he had a hard time. Granted, Charles Woodson's humongous for the weight class, but I think Buzukja, he does have the tools. I want to see him put it together before I can trust him. He has a plus 200 in this fight. I'm not sure it's enough for me to take a stab at him, just because I don't feel very confident he's going to win this fight. I think Silva's the goods. I think he has very good technical striking, and he doesn't really gas too bad either, late in fights either. Even though he did, but granted, the volume him and Pacheco put up was absurd, but...
got tired of punching that man, bro.
Give me Danny Silva. I don't know how I'm going to play it, but give me Danny Silva as the lead.
Next fight on the card at women's strawweight, we have Overkill Angela Hill going one-on-one with Tabatha Baby Shark Ricci. Angela Hill, 17-13 overall, fighting out of New York City, New York, 39 years old. Tabatha Ricci, Baby Shark, 10-2 overall, fighting out of Brazil, actually repping Brazil, fighting out of California, 29 years old. I got a couple of New Yorkers on this card, by the way. That's... Holding it down. This fight is probably going to be pretty decent. I mean, Angela, she fights in one mode. She walks forward. She throws hands. You know what she wants to do. The one woman in the UFC who's been fucked over by so many split decisions, it's not even funny.
Well, her and Tisha Torres now.
Hey, well, yeah. Now her opponent is a, did she win her last fight? Did Ricci win her last fight? In my opinion, nah, not really. Tisha won that fight. I watched it again. Still scored it for Tisha. Ricci's good. I just think two things work against her. One, her actual physical stature. She's a little too small here. And two, for her to win, she needs to get her grappling going, I think. I think that's probably going to be the key for her against Angela Hill. I don't know if she's going to be physical enough to take Hill down consistently.
Correct.
And not only just take Hill down, but hold her down, maybe get to her back and stuff. That's Tabatha's way here, because I think if this fight stays standing, even though Ricci might have the quicker hands, I mean, it's Angela Hill all day. This is kind of the fight she wants to fight. Give me Angela Hill as the pick. Give me Tabatha Ricci for the fuck over. Yeah. This fight is going to go the distance. Yeah. And it's probably going to be a split decision. And Angela Hill's just had the worst luck with split decisions in her career. So there you go. That's my breakdown. Don't know how I'm going to bet this fight. Maybe I just stay away from it. If the overs are decent, then that's probably the way to go. If split decision is decent, that's probably the way to bet it. But
yeah, for one, I like this fight to go the distance. Parlayable piece, 100%. Angela Hill's takedown defense has vastly improved since she's got into the UFC. Before, she was the easiest person to take down. Now, I would argue she's one of the harder people to take down at this 115 weight class.
She's been working at it, man. I know she's older, but yo, she's
a beast.
She's a beast, man.
She's a beast. And once again, I think she's going to outland Tabatha in this fight. Just like I thought Tisha was going to outland her in this fight. And for some reason, I don't want to bet this fight because it fucking stinks. And it stinks because I feel like this is a UFC narrative fight and they're trying to push Tabatha so hard when she does not have the physical or technical tools to be an elite fighter in this division.
This is my brother's this is the tinfoil hat is on right now.
Nah, I'm just being honest, man. I mean, I don't know how you look at that fight with Tisha and be like, yeah, Tabatha cleanly won that fight. I thought Tisha cleanly won that fight.
I mean, there was a lot of cage pushing on her end, but at the same time, she wasn't really doing anything with it. Like,
no.
You know, I don't know, man. That fight was a little frustrating, low-key.
It stinks. Yeah. It stinks, just like this one stinks. The thing is, I was willing to play Tisha because Tisha was a dog. This fight's a pick'em, and Vegas knows because this fight's going to be fucking close. I think I'm going to stay away from it. I really do. Because watch me try to play Tabatha for the fucking and then get fucked because I didn't play Angela, who I think is rightfully going to win this fight. So, nah, man, I'm off this fight. But if you're asking me for a lean, I'm going to lean Tabatha for the fucking and Angela for the rightful winner.
Next fight on the card at men's welterweight, we have Michael Morales going one-on-one with the Haitian sensation. He should change his nickname to the ultimate gatekeeper, Neil Magny. Morales is perfect. 16-0 fighting out of, he's fighting out of Mexico, but he's repping Ecuador. I didn't know he's fighting out of Mexico.
I didn't know that either.
Repping Ecuador, though, 25 years old. Going one-on-one here with Neil Magny, who is 29-11, fighting out of Dalton, Illinois, 37 years old. This should be Michael Morales all day, I think, in my opinion. I think in the stand-up is not even close. I mean, I was just watching the last couple fights for Morales. Boy, his hands are quick. My man hits hard.
And he's still raw. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
He's still not like a very technical striker. He's just so gifted physically.
But you can see from fight to fight he's maturing, right? Yeah. He's been slowing down his aggressiveness and you can tell he's really the process exactly is really coming to fruition for him. Like he's really maturing as a fighter, and he's not the easiest guy to take down. He probably could. I
think that's his most underrated part of his game.
Yeah.
His wrestling.
His wrestling is especially his wrestling defense, pretty solid. That's probably Magny's only way to win here. He's not going to win the stand-up battle. If Morales has seen any tape, look at what Ian Gary did. Look at what Mike Malott kind of did.
Shavkat.
Look at what Shavkat did. Attack the legs, beat his ass up, and I think he can get him out. I think Michael Morales inside the distance. I would probably say KO. If
Magny's hard to sub.
Magny, give him credit. That's where he wants to fight. He wants to fight on the ground. Again, his best shot of winning is to try to take him, push him against the cage, maybe take his back, make it a dirty, dirty ass fight. But Mike Morales should win this. Give me Mike. Give me inside the distance. This should be easy. Should be.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm with you on the ITD as opposed to his last two fights. He fought Jake Matthews and Max Griffin, who are both extremely durable. He did rock them a couple of times in those fights.
He did.
Neil is not the same kind of durable, not at least anymore. Unless it's against Mike Malott, who's a bum-ass motherfucker, too. So,
Wait, hold on.
So, yeah, I'm just...
2 points.
I came out hot. Yeah, I came out hot.
3 points. Jake Matthews, I know people, they'll scoff at that. He's one of those guys that kind of just fights to his competition.
I agree.
It was a really good fight.
Very good fight.
He's got decent hands, and he's just
his grappling's pretty good too.
He's a decent fighter. So that fight was actually pretty decent. 2, Mike Malott was winning that fight, and he just sold it in those last 2 minutes. 3, Mike Malott is a bum ass motherfucker. Yeah. The kid is good. he just needs a little more refining. You know what I'm saying? People were calling Magny like the prospect killer. I don't know how many prospects he's really killed.
But they were calling Mike Malott the next GSP, and I know for damn sure he's not the next GSP.
He's good, though. He just... Man, those last 2 minutes, I was like, Magny just turned him over. My man was completely just gassed out, and he just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he worked him.
One thing about Magny, he's not going to go away.
No, he don't quit.
He don't quit. Magny's a tough motherfucker. So,
and one thing about Morales, he's not going to go away either. I think Morales is a fucking killer.
Yeah.
I think this is the prospect from Ecuador that they wanted Chito Vera to be. And I think this kid is the goods. I think he gets him out of there, probably by knockout. I don't know what round. But give me Mike Morales by however he wants.
Next fight on the card, and as currently constituted, this looks like it's the co-main event of the evening. At middleweight, we have the Golden Boy Edmen Shahbazyan going 1-on-1 with GM3 Gerald Meerschaert. Shahbazyan, 13-4, fighting out of Las Vegas, 26 years old. Meerschaert, 36-17, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 36 years old. Right off the bat, this fight is not going to go the distance. This fight goes all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It was a bad fight.
It was a bad fight. 100%.
One thing I always get constantly surprised about is whenever I see Shahbazyan's age, 26 years old just fucking throws me off. Like, he is still super young. And he's fought...
decent fighters.
He's fought a lot of his career in the UFC, in my opinion. And, like, I know he didn't start off too hot, but... His last win, I know it was against AJ Dobson.
Very talented Dobson.
Another guy in Dobson who I think is one of those, like, he has the tools. He just lacked that gumph to like really just like let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just too cautious.
And he hurt him in that fight too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he got finished.
Shahbazyan did what he needed to do. Shahbazyan, listen, an exciting fighter. I think he is getting better. He is only 26 years old here. GM3.
Oof.
I mean, listen, if you're looking at this from a betting perspective, you already know GM3 sub rounds 2 and 3. Just fucking send it, right? Because it's probably live. It's always live in the GM3 fight. That being said, Shahbazyan in the striking department should beat his ass.
Bad.
Gerald Meerschaert, I know he's a big dude. He hits harder than people want to give him credit for, but his striking is not that good. Meerschaert just wants this fight on the ground. Shahbazyan probably could handle him on the ground, but that's a fuck around and find out situation you don't want to get into with GM3, and he is liable to catch Shahbazyan in a sub 100%.
Correct.
So I like inside the distance here. Fight doesn't go under 2.5, probably even fucking under 1.5, because these guys do not go the distance.
Yeah,
they don't. But as a pure pick, Shahbazyan, a little more well-rounded. Definitely younger, and I think he should get this done against GM3.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think GM3 is a little long in the tooth. I felt bad because I like his game.
I love GM3.
The problem with him is he's not really a wrestler. He's more of an opportunistic grappler, so you almost have to hope Shahbazyan's going to lean in and give him his neck. I agree with you with the rounds 2 and 3. It's like a system play at this point.
Shahbazyan loses his fight, it's Shahbazyan's fault.
Correct.
I think.
Yeah, in my opinion. I think Shahbazyan showed his takedown defense in the Fluffy fight, even though he got melted late. Fluffy's a bad boy, man.
Fluffy's just another level
of
dude.
Yeah, he's a contender. He's a title contender. And I feel like Shahbazyan showed his mettle in that fight, showed his toughness, showed his improved takedown defense, showed a lot of good things. And if he can stuff Fluffy, I think he can stuff Gerald Meerschaert. Pause.
Hey.
Give me Shahbazyan, probably first, second round knockout. I'll go there. Not sure I'm going to play that, but he's definitely the lead in this fight. Shahbazyan by knockout.
Next fight on the card, and as currently constituted, the main event of the card. At middleweight, we have Jared Killer Gorilla Cannonier going 1-on-1 with the natural Caio Borralho. Cannonier is 17-7 overall, fighting out of Alaska. Does he still live in Alaska? I wouldn't live in Alaska. 40 years old, going against the natural Borralho, who is 16-1, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 31 years old. This is a fight where I think my brother is probably he'll probably break it down a little better. I'll just give my quick thoughts on it. I don't, one, like the fact that Cannonier, I mean, even though he didn't get knocked out, it's a quick turnaround. It's like 2 months turnaround from his last fight against Imavov. Don't like that. I'm a little sus about his chin. It ain't there, but I feel like this is one of these fights where Cannonier, when he falls off, is going to be a bad fall off, I think.
Yes.
I think he's the better fighter. I think he's the better striker here. He's only lost to like literally the best of the best outside of his first fight, which was, you know, debut fight. Who gives a shit about that? Whatever. And then Dominic Reyes, who is not elite, but at the time he was very good.
And there's a weight class he should have been fighting in. Let's just be frank.
I think Cannonier is probably the side here, but I do not know. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks on his side, but I'll throw it to my brother here. Go ahead. Break this one down for me, brother.
Yeah, I'm with you here. And this is a very tough fight to call for a lot of reasons. Cannonier's age is also very questionable.
Yep.
He was working Imavov, let's just be frank about that. And then he got caught in the third round. Then the fourth round, he got caught. And then Jason Herzog had that horrible stoppage, which I hated because this is like Cannonier's window for championship medal is...
Yeah, it's pretty much out the window.
It's out the window, in my opinion. Even if he beats Kyle, it doesn't do much for him, in my opinion.
This is a very risky fight for him.
Yeah, and Kyle has been improving his striking. Kyle's jiu-jitsu is pretty good. It's not like once he hits the floor with you, he's gonna sub you. But he's been trying to make a point lately. But he's only really done it against guys who don't belong in there with him on a grappling sense. Cannonier, the better striker, hits much harder. Good takedown defense. I feel like this is this might be a dog or pass spot just because of that. But I want to sit on this a little bit because age is the killer for all men, to be frank. He is 40. His chin is a little sus. Imavov, not the biggest puncher, was able to hurt him. Imavov was able to take him down, but Imavov is a better wrestler than Borralho, in my opinion. Imavov I think, is also bigger. And if you notice in that fight, Imavov was not able to hold Cannonier down.
No.
And I'm not sure Caio Borralho is going to be able to either.
So the way I picture it is I don't think he's going to be able to successfully take him down, but I think what Caio, his path to victory here is not really to stand with Jarrett, but to use his striking just to get in on him, cage push, and, you know, do what you do best, man. Try to take that back.
Correct.
And then, you know, drag him down into deep water. Like, I think that's Caio's best route to victory. I know Cannonier has never been submitted before. I'm not going to rule that out. Caio is pretty good, but this is a huge step up in competition for Caio.
By like a mile.
Like,
you beat Paul Craig, but you know you just beat Paul Craig. Like like that guy has no striking.
And then before that was Abus Amagomedov, and I mean
he's a flash in the pan.
I don't think that guy's better than what he's shown, but I don't think he's like that good either.
Nah,
you know, like he's better than the Strickland knockout, but he's not as. I don't know.
He's not as bad as this last loss to Borralho. No.
All I'm saying is Cannonier is 100% a big step up. I mean, Cannonier is a beast. Underrated. I think consistently underrated. People don't talk about Cannonier enough in my opinion.
I mean, the way he worked with Tori, and I told you how that fight was going to go. I said, dude, that you can go back to that episode, ladies and gentlemen. I said, there's a good chance Cannonier could knock this bitch out. And he was very close. He was very close to taking his ass out.
Why do you hate Vittori?
No, I love Vittori, but I'm sorry. But that's usually what you say when you talk in an aggressive manner. Knock this bitch out. You know what I'm saying?
I just wanted to get clarification.
No, I love Vittori, but Vittori, I respect you. But like that was Cannonier. I'm gonna knock this bitch out. You know what I'm saying? I make Blonde Brunson into Blood Brunson.
Blood Brunson.
And he worked him. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Cannonier is I think he's fucking underrated, man. I think he's criminally underrated. I think his game, you know, people thought he lost to Sean Strickland. I don't think he lost to Sean Strickland. I thought he edged him. And it's because the most underrated part of his game as well, too, is his fight IQ. 100%. And I don't think that gets talked about enough. It's just a little scary when he's fighting a young stud like this that's hungry, has grappling upside, and I think it's going to be taller than him. So
yeah, Cannonier has always been a little undersized, and you know that's why he moved down in weight initially from like light heavyweight.
Correct.
But yeah, Borralho's going to be the bigger guy, even though he's not going to have the reach advantage here.
Yeah, and he's not going to have the power edge, which is hilarious. You know, I think Cannonier's live. I'm gonna lean Cannonier just on a hunch, but don't be surprised if I play Borralho later in the week. That's where I'm at with this. This is one of the toughest fights to call that I think this year.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth on this, and it's tough. It's a good fight, and it's like, hey man, this is a show up and ship out kind of fight for Borralho, because if this catapults him if he wins.
Yes,
catapults him.
And a lot of people were fading Cannonier against Imavov, and I told you how that fight was gonna go. If Jason Herzog doesn't step in, who knows what the 5th round looks like?
I mean, he did. To Imavov's credit, he did hit him with the taser.
He did.
Cannonier was not on skates.
He was,
but he was skating a little backwards.
Right, but it was a bad stoppage.
It was a bad.
It was because he connected with a big left hand before the fight got stopped.
Yeah,
and it hurt Imavov. So I knew that fight. I knew Cannonier was a live dog in that fight, and I think he's even a liver dog in this fight with a guy who I don't think has as good wrestling as Imavov, is as strong as Imavov, and I think Imavov is the cleaner striker.
Yes.
So I'm on Cannonier here. Don't know if I'm going to play it. Don't know if I'm going to touch it, but that's the lean.
And that's all we got, folks, in jokes. That's UFC Vegas 96 from top to bottom. Not as bad as it's not the best card. I'm just going to put it out there. But it's better than Marcin Tybura versus Spivak card. That card was shit. Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there.
We're trying to find spots for you guys to
bet. That card was rough.
And it rinsed us.
Jesus. It was a bad card to watch, or worst card to bet on. I'm just going to,
Correct.
But it is what it is. That's all we got. Let's take it to my brother here to just take us out. Take us home.
You guys already know the business. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now in the visual part of the podcast. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Love you guys. Episode 67 in the books. See you guys soon. Subscribe. Show us some love. Holla at you. Later.